Forgot I was on mute. We are back at last. Sorry for that long break. A lot of scheduling issues. That's what happened. Yay. But anyway, we are finally back. New day. Hopefully this is better moving forward for everyone. And now it's time for me to unmute on Discord. As soon as I can find it, because sometimes you just can't.
When I get the dragon mark, which spells do you want to get? Because I know I want to get silvery barbs for more support for all of you.
Hello, I have returned.
Hello, hello.
I'm also thinking about getting the Mold Earth.
Anyway, as we progress to the next section. Alright, good, it captured it automatically. Last time on Family and Memories, we had some downtime. Archron chased down a dude. Tommy did some meditation, and Lima was approached by two individuals. One, wondering Lima's position on political structure, I guess we should say, and then the other, a fellow follower of the Master, encouraging Lima to take a much more active approach to life.
And she took that to heart and planned something to meet with Adelard.
Indeed she did.
Oh boy.
Now we will join the party still in the middle of the day. Feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves. If you need to do anything, you can. And as well, I have a map for us.
Tommy is eating something he found in the garbage because it was mostly uneaten.
Tommy is a robot. How is he eating?
I like to play pretend.
Okay.
I'm 4.
So
Must I explain this?
So he's just smashing it against his face?
Pretty much, yeah. He kind of started copying it after he saw the other Nulls start doing it and actually eating things.
Alright, well, here we have our map
This is
of
like
the
a garbage
city.
tea party.
Give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
Alright.
Yeah, city map. So I take it these are where the towers are.
Yes, these are some of the Archmage's quarters. This is the university. This is where Tommy's home is. This little hill right here.
Over here's probably the park.
Yep.
Over here's probably farmland.
Yep.
Ports.
Market
Courtyard?
Square. This is the temple area.
Oh. Okay, temple. Got
Tommy continues to eat garbage burrito.
garbage burrito.
Alright, reason to justify eating an actual burrito.
Is Lima doing anything after squaring off with Archeron?
And going to the tower, because remember that's the last part we were at.
You went to the tower first, and then you went to spar with Archeron.
And I lost.
Tommy has stronger arm than man with stick.
Man with stick. Lima's probably actually gonna. What would she do after this, actually?
I forget. How long has it been since we've been stuck inside the city?
You have been here for a day.
A
How
day.
long did we?
This is the second day you've been here.
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, I
How
think
long are we
gone.
still trapped here for?
We're gonna be here for like 2 weeks or so. And one of the goals we have, I believe, is to find a way for one of the Archmages to actually let us join the expedition to find your father.
That would be useful.
And one of the things we probably could do is help them deal with the gangs inside this place. If that probably will help us a little bit, you know, if we do
And
that.
it would lower Archon's punishment timeout.
It would. It'd also probably go in favor of the city.
Does that mean we get to hurt a lot of bad guys?
Yes, we would.
Yes.
It almost sounds like Tommy's talking to Joe, not Lima, right now.
Yeah, I'm not doing a voice right now, aren't I? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it would kind of be that way. But,
Let us go on patrol! Pulls out like a tiny piece of like what appear to be broken spectacles from the garbage for trying to wear them like sunglasses.
I actually kind of... Actually, it would be best for us to do some research and scouting before we do the full patrol area, because we need to know where the most activity is when we start doing the patrols, so we can actually might be able to run into the people, you know? Or at least help out the guards a little bit more. Because there are guards in the city. They do pretty well, good jobs. Just, you know
How
what?
about we ask them?
Huh?
How about we ask them? Probably some of them are scared of things, so they probably don't go near them as much. That's what Daddy and Mommy told me.
He's the least scariest person here. If anything, Neo are kind of probably a little bit more scary than you, buddy.
That was his face, not his butt.
In that case, what would be the wisest way to learn the thingies? To the place where they lock up Butter Snake. They already get complaints too, so they probably might have some ideas of who could be doing bad things, and then we can follow them and then defeat them from doing the bad things and teach them the ways of Huggles.
Well, we probably should, yeah, might be a good idea to go over to them and ask what the locations were and if we can help a little bit more than stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Lima, be more brave, be more confident. Brave, confident. Wait, does not wait for that, oh man.
Tommy
So
holds your finger.
are you going to the guardhouse?
I think all of us are, right? Unless,
We'll say
Presley didn't.
Archron is because Presley is currently indisposed. Just give me a moment because while I have the map set up, I don't have it set up. If that makes sense, I have to place tokens. So just
Oh no, that's fine.
RP your walk there while I set it up.
oh, how long ago did your father leave your home? Just out of
Not
curiosity.
too long. Maybe a month or two ago. It's
Month
hard
or
to
two.
tell. I don't really sleep much, so it's kind of hard to tell. Sometimes I count the suns, but then I forget and lose track. I get lost after 2. I can do better when counting punches, but I always keep forgetting to count after 2.
But, okay.
Don't mind
I
me,
think
chat.
this
Just
is
doing some
the
live setup of the map.
7th 2? Maybe 8th? I don't remember.
Tommy, quick question.
Math wasn't my best.
What would you do when we find your father, and depending what they're doing, how would you interact with them?
That is hard to say. It's been a while.
Hello?
And he was really
okay.
sad.
I understand.
I think I would
Just-
give him a hug. He needs
sounds
one
good.
right now.
Welcome back,
Sounds like
Presley. I'm just setting up the map real quick.
It sounds like you might need one too, a little bit, buddy. Like Liam just softly pats, like Tommy's shoulder a little bit.
Hugs always make things better. My mommy taught me. Whenever I cried, always a hug can make things a lot better. That's why I need to find Daddy. He needs big hug. Daddy's hurting. And it's hard to find him. So Dad also taught me always to follow the rules. So I have to do my best.
I believe you're doing wonderful so far. You've really gone a long way. You managed to
Yeah.
get all the way to us down below for a while, like before we got work back here. But,
Yeah.
oh,
I'm
well.
still small though.
Tommy, would you bring your gnolls into the guardhouse with you?
With permission, yes.
And Archron, would you go with them, and if so, would you bring Frederick?
Yes.
Remember, Frederick is the name of a person, not a spider.
Can you hear
Got
me?
some Frederick spiders out there.
Sorry,
hear
we
me?
have a lot of pets in various games, and all the names start to mix.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Alrighty. So, yes, we can hear you just fine.
Okay.
You're a bit echoey, but it's better than the mic quality before.
Well, echoey is, yeah, because I'm in a hallway.
So
in the
now
hallway, gotcha.
you have arrived at the guardhouse.
Oh. It's a lot smaller than I thought.
welcome in. Is there anything we could help you with today?
We are here to punch the bad guys.
Sorry, just a bit. But I believe we come here to kind of quickly meet Emma. Just
Emma
to see-
is currently in a, I guess interrogation is the best word. I could help you with anything you need.
Well, we came here to actually ask if they need any help trying to apprehend the people there. And if we can wait for her to come back or be done so we can hopefully help her a little bit more.
Tommy gets
Well-
tempted to start licking the shields on the wall.
You, Sir Archron, have helped us with taking out a few of their members. Well, not taking out, apprehending. Apologies. You all would be a great help if you could assist us. Let me just see if I can discuss with a commanding officer to see if I can get you assigned. Ah!
Thank you very much.
Tommy takes this opportunity to lick the things on his desk.
Please don't. Like, Lima's actually gonna go over and try to stop you a little bit.
But it's shiny.
Just because it's shiny doesn't mean you should lick it. Let's go back.
That-
I bet Knowles would love to like hug you right now. You seem a little bit lonely. Come on, let's
Hello.
go.
Don't
Yes.
let me
Speaking with my commanding officer, yes, we can give you permission. Just one moment.
No worries. Take it.
Do.
Slowly tries to sneakily lick things on the table again.
Lima goes over, kind of picks you up under her arm and carries you back a little bit.
Roll strength!
Alright, yes, is there anything I can help you with?
We want to help you find and deal with the problems you guys been having recently with a certain band of people.
Yes, the Tusks of Rage, as they call themselves. We would need for Emma to be out of her interrogation to formalize it, but I can at least begin the process and relay everything to her when it's ready, and then we can begin. Well, you can begin immediately, but we'll just need to wait for her to formalize it.
Do you have a waiting room? Do you have like a waiting room for us to kind of wait at for when this is happening?
I do not know when she will be back, but I could attest for you all. So you will. It will be fine if I give you the permission now.
Thank you then.
Indeed.
I appreciate all the help you've given for us right now.
Thank you for your help. We could always use more pairs of hands and more eyes watching.
And with that, I think we're probably going to accept the guard tower for now because there's we did what we needed to do. Yeah. So
Tommy is bummed that he did not get the like shiny things.
Liam's like, okay, let me quickly do the strength check, and I'm doing it with advantage because I'm using one of my rages in order to have advantage on this strength check.
Roll me
Tommy will
the
perfectly
d20
still.
since you're raging.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, because forgot all of that. Oh,
Tommy is smart.
That is,
good.
you do not surge. Tommy, roll opposing strength check.
I will roll strength for stubbornness.
Presley, do you need me to manage Archron's sheet for you for the session?
16.
I've got his sheet.
Okay, you're
It's just I won't be able to. I just won't be able to see the map because
It's fine.
job decided to give me a route when I wasn't even supposed to work.
It's fine.
yeah.
16.
So I rolled an 18, so I'm able to kind of carry a little bit.
Yeah. Lima's able to just
Tommy
barely
was
get
gonna
you
like lock his joints to be as heavy as possible out of spite.
Roll me athletics using Constitution instead of Strength. So it'd be subtract your Strength modifier, add your Constitution instead.
Should I roll for my like acrobatic or athletics as well?
Roll athletics versus that.
And I'm at advantage because I'm still at rage mode, so. I think
19.
I'm advantage. 19.
Well, did you get Andrew?
19.
Roll again.
Okay. We got to roll again. Oh boy.
I would say not an advantage. This is just straight roll. So 7 versus.
2 7s, damn. This one.
But the
15.
Tommy
15.
is just stuck in place. You cannot move him currently.
Tommy, please.
Okay, game over. Let's go.
Thank you.
Alright, so we are now back at the city map.
Tommy is half tempted to block the doorway, but yet again, also that would take too long.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy, would you like to go back to the main square and kind of do the little musical number again or something? You know, we are missing Buttersnake.
He does have the vibes.
Yes, he does.
Rain. Let us make prayer circle.
Sure. Where you want to put the prayer circle? Would you like to go to the temples to do that?
I like usually going around garbage cans. They're fun. Never know what's inside.
I kind of recommend to be careful when you're going to those. You don't like. Oh, never mind. You can't really catch anything. You're not.
Tommy kind of just the derp eyes for a second.
And you just see like Lima put like her left hand on her like lips, realizing you can't get sick.
I'm gonna go get something to eat real quick. You guys feel free to RP amongst yourselves.
That reminds me. Is there more magical trash can liquid? They're good for attracting friends. Mostly tiny ones that go.
Well, I'm quickly looking at stuff I have so I can see what I can do with this. By the way, is one of your anoles enjoying the Warhammer?
Yeah, he's been having a lot of fun with that. Although occasionally he starts drooling on it.
He seems to have a really love having a small steel of power, doesn't he?
Maybe it's because it's so big. It makes him feel strong.
Yeah, the hammer is bigger than his head.
Meanwhile, you just look at him and he's just like. Which reminds me, which one of them has the Warhammer? Hold on. Let's say it's not Gnarl. Is it
I think it's Gnarl.
Null? Oh yeah, is it Gnarl? Null? Prowl? Oh yeah, is it Growl or Prowl has it?
I think it was whoever which one was a laughing stock before, I believe.
Let's see. Gnarl was getting his ass kicked a lot. Let's see. Prowl. Let's see. Yeah, I think we still have to give it to one of them. Let's see.
Well, I removed it from my inventory because I thought you already gave them it.
Yeah, no, I just have to edit it on their actual sheet thing. I think like it's one of those things that like okay, so go ahead.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like an additional thing that still needs to be like edited.
Fair.
Let's see. I think it's one of those. Oh wait, I think it's under like inventory probably. Hold on.
Sorry, just my brain's now thinking. If you give Lima mold earth, she just can make a small little hole for people to kind of sleep and while exploring out the world a little bit, you know?
Horse.
But then at the same time, we go lightning though, where I have more capability to do damage up close. You know? Kind of a trade off there.
Power is only as good as the hands that they are in.
With that, she's going Mold Earth. when that thing eventually happens, yeah.
Also because it's funny to make mud pile and then have someone slip off a roof.
Looking back at Victor,
Never underestimate the powers of gravity. She is a cruel mistress.
The reason why I was thinking about Mold Earth as well, it's like, minus the whole entire thing in there, it's like more controllable. It's like the idea of her kind of trying to control it a little bit more, you know?
In order to shape one's destiny, the road ahead of them can be shaped in many ways. In this case, you're doing it literally.
Yeah. Oh,
Meanwhile,
boy.
my cat is staring off into the distance. Oh, there goes my laundry.
Hey, Tommy,
Hmm.
do you still see that cactus?
Ah, the singular cactus. It's probably somewhere.
Meanwhile, cutting away to that into the desert is just the random cactus again as the wind blows in the breeze. A small little tumbleweed flies by it. The cactus looks menacingly at it. The screen begins to do that black bar thing when two people are about to get into a fight in a kung fu action flick. It does the same for the tumbleweed. And then the tumbleweed, as it leaps forward, almost about to hit the cactus. Freeze frame. Illustrated. It gets illustrated.
And then-
Ends of episode.
And then just tell me we get stuck on the cactus and both of them are stuck together.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're together.
That is the reality of the situation. But in Tommy's mind, it's much more action-packed.
Yeah.
They exchange dialogue, and specifically Gnomish.
No, miss. Oh, boy.
I can't say like Chinese or Japanese because, unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, that language doesn't exist in this particular continent.
Sorry, the idea of Gnomish being the equivalent of Japanese in this world just make me smile a bit.
Okay, admittedly, Gnomish Japanese would be amazing. No offense to Japan, I just feel like gnomes speaking Japanese, like in a very thick, like action-packed movie way, would be kind of awesome. Just like Japanese gnomes speak. It's like a gnome with an extremely long beard fighting against a gnome with an extremely long ponytail. As the wind blows and picks it up, the beard accidentally tickles one of the gnomes in the nose, and he sneezes for a moment, and then they begin their fight. They fight in a swirl of hair.
Sorry, that's just a character idea there now. It's just like a gnome samurai.
Sorry, but what were you two even on about?
We're talking about how funny it would be if gnomes had giant long hair and it fought in the breeze. Like dwarves, but smaller, but with big hair.
Hey, then.
Wouldn't you think that'd be a cool stage show? Like gnome martial arts. Gnomes.
Well, it's just kind of fun to imagine stuff like that. Keep your brain kind of moving and active, you know?
After all, Mommy taught me how to punch things.
There's a slight look to the side as you say that. Never mind. People tend to be multiple things at once times.
Bad. Punching things is normal. Just you must be careful how you punch. Although a switch shot to the is usually what Mom taught me.
I heard everything.
What are your thoughts on the talk then?
There's other continents.
Yeah, we know.
Although out of game, legitimately, it would be kind of fucking hilarious to just see like a Japanese style martial arts film, but instead of like full grown people, it's just like all gnomes, but with like extremely long hair.
I mean, there's gnomes who could have emigrated over.
Ooh, that would be so fun.
That'd be amazing too. It's like there's a whole party of gnome samurais who just all just references to anime.
But they ride on actual horses.
Yeah.
So they're like really small.
Anyway,
like-
do you guys
there's
begin
some-
your investigation?
What does the file say, Doc?
You were
don't
not
have
handed a file.
We weren't
Oh.
given the thing yet. We're still waiting, technically.
Oh,
To be clear, there really isn't a file to be had. You just go out and do the investigate.
I guess.
where to?
I guess we go investigate then.
All right.
Oh boy.
I'll need some investigation checks. How you want to handle it is up to you.
Tommy will investigate the only way he knows how. By awkwardly asking people about, hey, you know where bad guys are?
Roll me a
Look
persuasion check.
Extremely cute.
Roll
he
me
does-
persuasion.
Lima's also
He
going to
does it
probably.
with extra
Lima's
cute
probably going to do
eyes.
similar, but go to the guards. Just going to ask where the most kind of trouble and where they show up, the kind of more often-ish, kind of that
I
way.
didn't.
All right, both of you roll me persuasion checks then.
Guidance.
Damn, that's a low roll.
16.
25!
I will start with
right.
Lima. You're given the information that they're kind of all over the place. There's not really one spot for them too much.
Mhm.
And this is honest information. They just don't have a correlation too much. Tommy, on the other hand, with that 25,
Yeah,
Tommy is an adorable bean that goes beyond adorable beans.
you meet this this definitely sketchy looking dude. Like it's super goth and all that. And you walk up to him and he's just like, "What do you want?"
I want to know where the sketchy people are.
I mean, have you seen me?
Yeah?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Oh, like the people who got in the fight with that one big dude in the town square that one day. You know, where it was like, and it was like, and then we were like, with arrows.
I think the park.
Park? Looks
Yeah.
like they're in the nicest place of all. Well, I guess that would make sense why they're there. It's really pretty. Good trash can food.
That's all I've seen.
Thank you, mysterious sketchy man!
You're welcome. And he just walks away.
Before he leaves, he gives him an awkward hug.
Barely seems to register it.
Yeah. Tommy comes back. I know where the sketchy people are.
He looks over. Mind telling us a little bit?
Well, first,
Points in the direction of where that one sketchy dude was.
second, he mentioned the park.
The
Which
park?
is weird, but understandable, for the park is very nice and sometimes it's a good place to have trash sandwiches.
I guess let's head over to the park and kind of check over there then. Are you okay with that, Archon?
Pancake! Pancake,
I think Presley's busy, so.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, all right.
pancake. Pancake,
I guess we go to the park, yeah?
pancake.
Okay, off to the park we go. Oh,
And the park that we will go, the park that we will go. Hey ho, the merry-o, the park that we will go.
Alrighty. As a note, a lot of this has not been prepared for.
To quote a wise
no
man, Who actually does proper preparation for what party plans?
Fair enough. But this is
Also,
just
when
enough
does
that
the party plan?
we're probably just going to be using theater of the mind for most of this. So I would like everyone, once you're at the park, to roll me investigation checks if you're poking around.
I will
Oh,
do so.
God.
Yeah, the powers of talking to people. Every time, I'm just gonna go and interview some of the people. Tommy's more of a people person.
Hey,
16.
it's a high roll this time. Like the +7, which turned to a 9 for that one there.
Guidance.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's guidance for who?
for Tommy, I believe.
20 to talk to people for more information on the schedules.
20. You don't find too much information.
Too much.
Not in...
Lima, on the other hand, as you're kind of, how in depth are you poking around?
I like to imagine that she's actually also kind of, okay, how to describe her during it? Oh God, like looking like around for like signs, symbols, or some like etching on areas, kind of represent something that wasn't there before, type of thing. Like
Oh, like a shadow mark.
exactly.
You don't find a shadow mark, but as you kind of get behind some of the bushes in an area that's like pedestrians just wouldn't go to, you think probably kids wouldn't even go to, you think it would be the perfect place. You step and you hear as if you're hitting wood instead of soil.
Oh, Crumb, Tommy, I think I found something. Please come over here. I don't want to be alone in this.
Tommy is done investigating via the powers of talking to a frog. Thank you, Mr. Toadstool. Your testimony will be kept noted as he walks away with his tiny legs. Are we entering enemy territory?
So I found this spot here. It's not soil, it's wood. Someone's here.
It's
I reckon-
covered in leaves currently, unless you cleared them away.
I saw it clear it a little bit, not much though.
You see a panel of wood. If you just clear it away a little bit.
Okay, it's a little panel of wood. I gonna try to lift up the panel a little bit, see what happens.
Well, you'd have to get to the edge of it, in which case you would notice it's not a panel of wood, it's a full-on trapdoor.
Oh, Tommy, can you send one of your gnolls out north to get some of the guards gonna help them try to inform them about this trapdoor here?
That is the plan. Snarl! Prowl! Growl! Snarl! As I have them line up. We need people watching. You two, Prowl, Snarl. Go in and inform the guards of the location of the secret wood block thing. Snarl and Growl, I have a special mission for you. Watch the nearby area so that no children accidentally fall into the hole. Because I forget if these things actually stay closed fully. Also because I might start screaming.
Roll me persuasion check, just to get past language barrier here.
25.
25? Yeah, they get you.
See.
I've learned a couple words besides all the curse words, but I've officially learned all the curse words.
All the curse words have been unlocked. Oh boy.
Just so luckily they're in a language that I will not be saying in English. So if I ever curse, it will be in
One second. Good to go. Have a great day.
Goodbye.
So
Now we go into stealth mode.
As Tommy puts mud on his face.
Liam's gonna slowly open the trap door to like just slow enough so that she can like check if there are any actual traps underneath or what's underneath it a little bit before fully opening it.
All right. You're checking
Um,
for traps. You said.
Just slightly opening it to do so.
You slightly open it. There's no traps.
Tommy will go first. He knows the way.
Hold on, quick question. Is it really dark in there?
It is actually decently lit.
Oh wait, I forget. Did we take a full rest last time, or a short rest at all?
That's on you.
I'm still like a 13 of 38, so I think we haven't.
Maybe we should take a moment to be prepared.
I agree.
Also, it'd help us confirm if anything's going on. That way we can have backup just in case.
So I guess we're gonna wait until the gods are here to help us get some little backup for this.
Yeah.
You know, I guess
stay nearby, but try to be. Tommy will be in the garbage can.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing for now. Yeah.
So you're calling the guards and taking a short rest?
Yep.
Alrighty. Take your short rest.
So hit dice is
Ooh, threatening. I like it. Okay, so how do I take? Okay, one sec. Not short rest. Here we go. Okay, so then I would use that.
use a D10. So D10 plus con. 7 HP recovered. Good, good. So I'm at 20 HP, which is better than what it was before.
Oh, wait, I forgot to actually. I think I forgot to actually apply the die roll.
$20 out of 38, so only missing 18 hit points. Better than what it was before. A little higher HP than the commoner, though. By 10
Alright.
points.
One sec, I'm trying to find the. Where's the hit die? It didn't tell me how much I healed. Pursue technology. Oh, okay. I rolled a 4. Okay, thank you, machine. Thank you for telling me.
4 plus your con.
No. 4 was the total. Is what I got. I rolled low, which is honestly all I really needed. Here we go.
And I take it, Presley, you're managing your short rest as well?
I honestly don't even need to roll hit dice. I'm still at full.
And on the bright side, abilities have recharged. Hey.
Now I can use the power of cuteness.
Alright, so you finish your short rest and the guards arrive, both of them spears and shield in hand. Alright.
I showed them the trap door. I checked a little bit, like opened the hatch a little bit. There seems to be no traps so far, so
I didn't even think to look here.
Yeah, makes sense. So,
they're like Mars.
how would you like to work together for this? Like, would you like some people still be up here, make sure they don't come in, or catch them to try to come in or leave out?
the notes will be like, "Ah, ah."
Okay.
He says he's got up. He's got the up top.
Okay. So, opens the hatch all the way. Let's begin this, I guess.
Tommy again reapplies mud to his face for stealth mode.
What is everyone's passive perception?
9.
My highest I've ever had, 11.
Archon?
Wait, what are we
Pancake.
rolling for again?
Just your passive perception.
Did we break him?
I think he's looking right now.
I hit the wrong button.
Ah.
It's a 12.
Alright, well, you all see one figure trying to be sneaky up against the wall of this passage.
Is that figure me?
No. This figure,
Good, 'cause it's not stealthy.
the tunnel is about 15 feet wide, so I would say, Arain, how would you like, what's your marching order?
I'm gonna go up front. I'm gonna rage.
Rage will only last for a minute, so it may be better to save it until combat begins.
Also, it
Okay.
deactivates after a round in which you are not attempting to attack something or taking damage.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like reverse concentration.
But what I was gonna do is, this guy thinks he's sneaky. I'm gonna let him keep the illusion up until we get close enough, and then I'm just gonna be like, grab him and be like, you're not sneaky at all.
Alright, do you bring Frederick down the tunnel with you?
I tell him to stay up top.
Alright.
Safer up there for him.
So it's
Yeah.
just you three and the two guards. Tommy and
So,
Lima, arrange yourselves as you will. I'll put the guards where you want them.
Excuse me, but after, like, as soon as Archon does that, Liam's gonna cast Featherfall and jump down. Just in case, so they don't take any damage, just in case.
Well, this is the order for what way you're in the tunnel. There's a ladder going down it. There's a ladder to get to a tunnel.
I guess I'll go last, because I'm a little bit more squishy, because I am mostly spellcaster.
Tommy is plucky yet cocky. He will go too. He will go second.
Alright. So you will see, just trying to get a good token for this guy.
No worries.
Checking. Is anyone else able to see the map? All I see is like the world map.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
So you see this guy.
Ah, the white void of creation.
It's called the Theater of the Mind.
So he's against the wall right now, so
So do you all approach him?
I'm
Well, I'm going Archon, so I can't really make much room.
Alright, so
gonna let Archon do his thing, but as soon as the guy kind of slips out, I'm gonna cast a spell on the guy.
So Archon
Tommy's too busy pretending to be stealthy.
walking up, and Archon, as soon as you get to, I know you can't see it, but this point, Thank you, Roll20, for at least having these tokens, but also making them very annoying to find. Really? Really? I'm just gonna use this token for the two bugbears that will attack Archon at this point from stealth.
Mhm.
I
So
always have to keep
roll
the-
initiative.
I keep forgetting what a bugbear is. I think this is a surprise round.
This is a surprise. This is a held action attack they're getting. So that was the first one because I forgot advantage from being stealth.
Hence is why I asked to rage.
Fair enough. That is a 20 to hit. Yeah, I would say that if you raged as soon as you saw him, you would have. Yeah, that would be fair to have raged.
Because I knew
Yeah, but-
something was up. That's why I was like, I would like to rage. And then you were like that. I was like, well, I know something's up, so I'm gonna keep my defenses up.
That's fair. I was less saying you couldn't rage and more saying it's not necessarily advisable with the information you have. But inferred information you could have kept your rage up. That's fine.
Okay.
I
So
wasn't
20 to hit, you said?
Yeah. 20 to hit and for a total of
A 20 is going to hit because this version of Archon is like, yeah.
that is a total of 19, which is then halved from your rage.
Jesus.
Bugbear's
19
got
halved.
sneak attack.
So it's 9 damage.
And then let me just grab another last token, and we can begin.
Hmm.
All right. Roll initiative.
I can auto roll initiative for you guys, just to
Mhm.
streamline it, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Or
that's cool.
Archon can get 15. So I guess everyone
I got no. That's 16.
16.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, I forgot this chat was a thing.
you guys can roll initiative as well.
Okay, where's my button again? Where are you, button? Where are you? Ah, yes, my initiative of 0. I
10.
got a 10.
And Lima,
9.
At least it looked cool.
we begin with the bugbears. Just double checking on all their things. Yep, okay. So Bugbear A will strike out with his Morning Star again at Archon. This time not at advantage. That is a 15 to hit.
15 hit.
That is 4 damage halved to 2. And then the other Bugbear takes his turn. Ooh, that is a 14 to hit.
14 still hits.
That is a total of 12 damage halved to 6. Archon, it is now your
Hey,
turn.
hey, Sam, can I talk to you after this?
Yeah.
Okay. My turn. Well, we're still level 4, so. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and A strike.
Against which of these two? A or B? A is to your left, B is to your right.
I'll attack B.
All right.
Bada bing. Does a 15 hit?
15 will just barely not hit. You punch right into the shield.
I don't know why I have that one. I'm going to spend a superiority die to roll a d8 for that.
And add it to the attack roll?
Yeah.
I'll allow it, even though the rules say you have to do it before you know you hit or not.
Uh,
6 will turn it into a hit.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll be right back.
I think he mostly just has to roll damage, so we'll move on to Tommy and come back to Archon for any additional effects.
Tommy wishes to cast Divine Fervor. Boop.
Alright. And what does this spell do, Tommy?
Basically just adds an additional D4 radiant damage to any of my hits.
What radius is it?
Oh no, it's just a target myself thing.
Oh, okay.
I just concentrate on the spell and I'm able to kick ass in the name of ass kicking. So now Tommy goes up and strikes at the bugbear that tries to strikes at the bugbear that has weaker to help fight alongside Archon, also known as Pancake.
That is 6 bludgeoning.
Alright.
And then bonus action, I'm going to use another superiority die to grappling strike.
Ooh.
So I get a athletic convention. Of course, everything that's loud that's going on in the city right now is happening when I'm in session.
If it helps, we couldn't hear it.
So I roll this at advantage. I don't know how to roll at advantage on the phone.
If you press and hold, it should let you roll at advantage or disadvantage.
There we go. Advantage. Roll. That would be a 23. Grapple check.
Yep, he doesn't succeed. He is grappled.
Okay.
Which I believe doesn't immediately provide other benefits to Tommy, but you can go ahead and start the punchies.
Tommy wishes to punch at the person who is grappled and help out Archon. In other words, he uses his ability to channel Divine Fervor and begins with an unarmed punch. He is not wielding a shield right now, as Tommy has learned that it is easier to punch when both hands are available. And as far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure unarmed attacks don't count as light weapons, sadly.
Nope.
Which makes
Well,
you
can smite through your punches, I allow it.
Yeah, smite through punches is fine. But sadly, unfortunately, it doesn't count for doing 2-weapon fighting.
It does not.
Which makes me sad. But, oh well, it happens. Unless I get like that one feature that says I don't have to with that, but I require a feat to do that, so that's gonna take me a bit. At that point, I may as well play a monk. But I chose Paladin, so I chose it. I shall now commence the Divine Punchies! Yeah!
7 will not hit.
Why does every time Divine Punchies fail? Tommy is not good at this.
Lima, it is your turn.
Tommy
So-
forgot that.
Which one did the most damage to Archon, real quick?
I believe it was only one of them who did damage.
Was it this guy?
What? I did not say which one did what. Let's say it's the guy Archon's currently grappling for dramatic effect.
Okay. Quick question. Are the light sources in this little hallway higher?
Yes, they are candles.
Trying to think. No, that would be a bad idea. Plus, it would not be that bright in the first place. Plus, with the way the cover is right now, if I try to hit him, I have a small chance if I miss to hit Tommy instead.
It's okay. My head is strong.
Okay, then. Fuck it, I'm gonna do Chaos Bolt.
Roll to attack.
That is a 15.
Against the bugbear?
Yep.
It will bounce off of his shield.
Let me read more about the Chaos Bolt again, because it's been a bit. Chaos Bolt. Double check, same DA. It's 2 7s. You got 2 7s. So, since we rolled the same amount,
Would you need to hit for it to bounce?
if you roll the same number on the both D8s, the chaotic gem energy leaps to target. They're different.
Technically, you should only roll damage after you hit, so it just deflects off the shield.
Yeah. I agree on this one, yeah.
Blink.
We now
Shield, nothing.
go to the bandits. Bandit
Wait,
A.
so my turn.
Oh.
Hold on. I still have movement and bonus action.
All right.
So, Emma has movement speed 30. So, here. Boom. And now I need to roll d20 for something. Actually, need to roll. Yeah. I need to roll twice, actually, because I'm both going into a rage and just casted a spell. Right?
Yes.
Let's see.
Roll 1d20 at advantage and then 1 normal.
And
So you do not surge.
thank God. I saw that one there, and my heart just went. Surge, and I'm in my own rage.
All right.
That'll go for me.
Now to the bandits. This one. Hey, we've got intruders! And he will go down the hallway. This one will go over here and attack Archon. Ooh, that I think will hit at 21.
Yeah.
It's for 5 damage halved to 2.
Okay.
Let me just check something that's going on in the background of the encounter real quick. Alright. Thing is checked. The guard's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll make an attack against the grappled bugbear with his spear. That will hit. Yes, that is the one-handed, so for 7 piercing damage. And then the other guard will go over here and give, actually, let's go over to Tommy and give him the help action. And then we move on to the bugbears. Bugbear A will make an attack against Lima.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 22 hit you?
Yes.
Alright.
Thank God all damage halved.
That's 16 damage halved to 8.
Woo!
And then Bugbear B will spend his action trying to break free of Archron's grapple. For a 15.
God, I went to an rage because that would have hurt.
17 on athletics from Archron means that it is still grappled. It is then Archron's turn, and I believe top of the round takes a d4. Three damage. I'm looking at the log, Presley, so if you just want to roll your attacks and stuff, I got it. 23 on an are you grappling? You're grappling the other bugbear or the bandit?
No, I'm pinning.
Okay, you're pinning? I doubt he can beat that, but... Yeah, definitely not with the 6 for a total of 8. He is pinned.
And then action third. Action third, then I can finally start doing what I want to do.
Alrighty. "23 hits. Nine damage. He is looking beat up.
Bonus action.
Wait,
Where's my
I don't
bonus action?
believe D&D Beyond factors in rage damage. What's your additional rage damage?
Oh no, I already updated the rage damage, I think. Oh no, or maybe not. No, I updated the rage damage.
Okay.
I have a strength modifier of 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bonus action, I'm gunning to second win.
All right.
4 or 5.
Alrighty.
And
That your full turn?
that's my turn. That's my full turn.
Tommy, it is your turn.
Excuse you, my head to sneeze. Where was I? Ah, yes. Power of the punchies!
This guy's looking really hurt, and Archron's got him in just a heavy hold.
Yeah, Archon probably has that one handled then. Let's see, so that's the one in the hold, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Is there enough room in the hall that I'm able to, like, maneuver around him and go behind this guy?
I would say
Or
you would
just-
have to roll an acrobatics check.
Yeah, Tommy's not that spry. Commencing the punchies it is! And so Tommy should roll for punchies, and I believe he's performing a help action, which I think it only helps, like, is it only a defensive thing or offensive?
You get advantage on your attack.
Oh, okay.
But you
Not only
also
that,
would,
it's
anyway, from being restrained.
from it being restrained, yeah.
I also rolled 18 twice anyway on the same die thing for the advantage, so 23.
23 will hit. You don't even need to roll anything. He had 2 hit points left, and you'll definitely hit that.
I punch him in the dick!
Oh!
Sorry!
And I take it non-lethal.
Obviously, Tommy is a pacifist. Through your balls.
There is definitely a very bright light from your fist as you punch him.
Golden ball strike!
Do you have a bonus action to use?
Not really, since, like, let's see. Do I have any bonus actions that I do want to use? Since, sadly, two-weapon fighting does not apply to bare hands, no.
Alrighty. Just gonna... That to signify he's knocked out. That brings us to Lima.
So, she has both her daggers out. Both of them are completely blunt edges on both sides, so no cutting. And she's gonna just go ham the guy right in front of her.
Alright. Roll to attack.
Only get one attack, but I'm using a bonus action attack to do an offhand attack, okay?
Yep.
1, 2.
Oh, miss. Just keeping you at distance with the Morning Star.
Yeah. And also Lima's not used to kind of being up close and personal much.
This guy's off screen. But you can still hear him shouting about intruders. Yeah. Bandit B will go in to attack Archron again. Does an 11 hit? I don't think it does.
I can't sleep.
Finally, I do not get hit.
Alright, and next is the guards. Guard A will poke at the bugbear. For a 9 to hit, that will not. Guard B will go over and give Lima the help action. However, it doesn't matter because at the top of the round, you hear a loud voice, "Enough!" And all of them lax their weapons. as you see one really big dude with a big hammer walk into your
Always a
eyesight.
dude with a
Oh God,
hammer. It's always a dude with a hammer.
we're already weakened enough of this.
And what are you doing here?
Getting a little bit of revenge from your lackeys. Yeah, I hope you don't mind.
I'd say we're the ones who need revenge. You killed them.
That wasn't me. I mean, I'm technically not lying. By technicalities.
You think you can just come in here and what?
And you think you can just ruin the lives of many other people.
Well,
We're both assuming things here.
alright then. He will reach back into his pocket and toss you a vial. Drink up. Let's do this. 1-on-1.
I suspiciously look at the vial.
You can roll Arcana to investigate it.
Well, we know how this is gonna go.
I'll fight.
Tommy?
You guys got hurt enough. I
A 13.
should fight.
13? Yeah, it's a healing potion. Just a normal healing potion.
I'll drink it.
2d4,
Reluctantly.
2d4 plus 2 healing.
That's 9.
Whichever one of you wants to do it. Doesn't matter to me.
I'll do it.
Are you sure about that, Tommy?
You fight enough for everyone. I need to defend people. After all, you'll need your strength. This is what I do. Okay. Let's go.
All right. So how this is going to work is we're actually going to boost up the die, just so it doesn't go on for too long, by 2 sizes. So this means your current unarmed strike is a D6. It'll be boosted up to a D12.
What are you talking about? I'm using a D8. I'm not wielding a shield right now.
Oh, okay. Actually, wait. Checking my map. No, yeah, it would still be a D12 because if boosting up a die 2 sizes, D8 would turn into D20. So you're...
Does that mean the radiant damage boosts also?
No, it's just for your unarmed, just so it doesn't take too long.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna be clearing the initiative. Tommy, roll me some initiative.
You guys get hurt enough. It's my turn to fight. $14. So 14. Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I rolled.
He will roll. Hold on. I have to do something really quick to not spoil things for chat and you guys.
I know, that's understandable.
What?
Excuse me, D&D Beyond, why can't I do this?
Meanwhile,
There
my
I
cat's
can.
just sleeping on my laundry. Why do you do this every time I do laundry, Thor? Eh. Cats are weird. But adorable.
Really, D&D Beyond? You do this, you crash.
Could be
Sorry.
worse.
Sorry about this.
No worries.
That's okay. I still got a good solid 11. I still got a solid 21 minutes. And even then, that can extend an additional 5 if needed.
There we go. Alright. His initiative will be... a 9. So Tommy, you go first with your 14. What do you do? I take it just punch.
Well, to be fair, unfortunately, that is literally all Tommy can do. If I had thought through maybe a little better, I might have put a level or two of monk in, but no, punching is the way. Punching is Tommy's combat style.
Roll to attack.
Guide me, Mom. Oh, wait, that's damage. Sorry, wrong die.
I know.
20.
Yeah. So you're rolling d10s. So 20 to hit. Yep.
Yes.
And if you're d8 right now, you're rolling a d12 on damage for your punches.
D12 plus 3. Eight plus 3, and then a D4 from Radiant.
You hit him right in the chest. Oh, that little spell.
Not spell. Faith.
He will attack you at a +5 to hit. Shoot. That may have spoiled it. But at least only chat's seeing it. And, well, it's not going to be too bad for long. That is a 6 plus... Let me double check. Plus 3, so that's 9. Right to your metal face.
Miss.
21 to hit. 9
okay.
9 damage. Archron, Lima, and Tommy. What's your passive insights?
Like my
11.
passive perception, 9. That's a -1. Why do you do this to me?
I mostly just have 11s. At least it's not investigate.
This isn't hard. Tommy, your punch didn't do anything to him except for that radiant damage.
Oh.
In our words, this was probably the smartest thing that I did it. Is there a way I can channel my focus into my radiant rather than my brute force fist?
You need the physical damage there in some respect. Otherwise, you'd just be straight casting a spell.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, think of Divine Smite as like Green Flame Blade. You need the attack component in there.
So, wait, you're saying so essentially the physical damage did nothing?
The physical damage did nothing.
In that case?
The die-up is still to make things quicker. It's just in this combat, your die-up doesn't matter.
In that case, since my die-up doesn't do anything, I can play smarter. On my turn, I pull out my shield and then perform another unarmed strike. This time, I go for like a little shield spin kick.
Roll to attack.
$24.
That hits.
Just rolling that for superfluous damage. Oh, wait. That would be a D10 anyway. My apologies, brain. Although, if the cat's out of the bag, should I even bother rolling the D10 still?
If you want to just skip over it, you can.
Yeah, if we all know that it does absolutely nothing, I will, just for the sake of just dramatic effect.
You're rolling well. Ooh. Are you putting a Divine Smite into this?
I don't have any more spell slots.
All right.
I remember most of our stuff got used up like prior sessions. We haven't really gotten to have many long rests. We've been doing a lot of encounters.
He will move around you and then attack at +5. 11 to hit.
Miss.
I forgot he gets 2
I've
attacks.
chosen to equip my shield now. Since now I know my physical attacks do nothing, I'm using my shield.
The second attack is a 17 to hit.
Miss.
Bounces off. Oh, you're a tough little one, aren't you?
My mother said I was always a fighter.
It is your turn again, Tommy.
Huh!
8 doesn't hit, probably.
Nope. If you're attacking with your shield again, it just kind of glances off of him. Not really finding purchase. So you will then make 2 more attacks. And neither of them hit. Ugh. It is your turn.
God, keep going. 17.
17 will hit.
Two. 3 radiant.
It's getting really annoying, kid. And instead, he's going to 1, 2, and then back up. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get an attack of opportunity if you'd like. He's not necessarily disengaging. He's just kind of like winding himself back.
Wait. I let him go through with it.
Oh. Well, he will then take his action to... He begins to grow even bigger. And you can see all over his body, hair growing longer. His face grows longer into a snout with 2 tusks from it. By to this token, hello to, as soon as I find it.
Where Hydra? No!
That'd be kind of hilarious, though.
Werebore. Hold on, I may find a better one because that
Oh yeah,
switched a
I
bit.
forgot that was a thing.
Well then, you wanna go, little Warforged?
I see why now.
I may not be silver, but I'm just as strong.
It is your turn, Tommy. Do you rush up to him?
Let's see. Think through all combat possibilities. Let's see. I'm trying to think, and there's not really many options that I can do.
We believe in you. You can do it. Believe in us, you believe in Tommy.
Yeah, it doesn't help that we haven't had much of a long rest yet, so my options are limited.
Yeah.
Ah, there's only one thing I can do. 10. Probably doesn't hit.
Nope.
I mean, this can't surely be the same day. Obviously, the days have transitioned, no?
It's the same day. You guys haven't taken a long rest.
That's because we haven't been given the opportunity for once. Time hasn't passed that fast.
I apologize for that. I apologize for that. I've been waiting for you guys to say we want a long rest.
I usually
Well,
go
I
by the
mean, we've
rule
been
of
given
I give
options
players a
to
limited
rest,
time.
but like, I thought that would have constituted as like long rests and stuff.
Yeah,
I-
I always consider long rests are controlled by the DM, short rests are controlled by the players.
My apologies. I've basically I let you guys control how you're moving things along time wise. Sorry for that miscommunication.
No
Oh,
worries.
that's understandable.
Yeah, because in my mindset, I've seen a couple of days have already passed.
Yeah, this would have been like 3 or 4 days at least for me as a DM if I were running. But beyond that, it's okay. I'm okay with
Yeah,
this. I'm
my-
going with it.
My apologies for the miscommunication. I've left it to you guys, and you weren't expecting that.
And it's
Don't
okay.
worry.
I've done worse to players. I had entire puzzles where players didn't realize simple things all because I didn't explain them.
For the most part, it's why I keep going. Like, if there's a pause, I'm like, what do you want to do? Because I've been leaving it in your control.
Otherwise, continue. I missed my attack, so Wereboar's turn. That thing
Wereboar
about
turn.
paladins is they don't get multi-attack that quickly.
He is going to technically not break the rules of the fight with his tusks. Oh, and that's a natural 20.
Perfect!
I would feel like a jerk using the new crit rules at this point, so I'm just going to use the old ones and introduce them at a later
Actually, go for it. There's a reason why.
point. New crit
Tommy
rules
wasn't intending to win.
are, and this is just a rule that I have seen and I kept from implementing just because of D&D Beyond automatically implementing as written crit rules, but it is max on the die plus a roll. So then this is 12 plus this roll for... No way!
How much damage? Come on, tell me.
That is a total of 27. He rolled max on the attack as well.
Just as planned.
Oh,
Channel Divinity!
And he takes all of that 27.
In Radiant.
Tommy, do you go down from that?
How much damage you said? 27?
Yep.
Just enough to hit 0.
So, as he hits you with his tusks, there is a blinding flash in the cavern from Tommy as he just explodes with this radiant light. I will need you to
Wait,
roll
does-
me...
Oh wait, would that 1d4 still apply, or that's probably just weapon attacks?
That's just on attacks.
Okay. Yo, go for it.
You explode in this blinding radiant light that yeah, I'll say everyone roll a constitution save.
Oh.
Tommy, you're rolling a constitution save for a whole different purpose though.
Yeah, because I'm dying, technically.
Not for that.
Oh.
Oh, actually, you're a warforged. I say you're immune to lycanthropy.
Well, actually, no. I only have resistance.
I say you're immune.
Yeah, it makes sense. Even though it sounds amazing having a werewolf
I will
warforged.
double check. I will double check just in case. It would be nice to have
You-
like the feral.
You only have resistance, but I am saying you have full immunity to this curse because you are at essence non-biological.
Isn't lycanthropy a magical curse?
Yes, but it's still DM is saying you are immune.
Oh
Take
yeah, it says I'm immune to disease anyway.
Take the win.
Okay, sorry, I misread the I over the R. That was my bad. I was trying to double check that more for like, is this seriously something they wrote?
It is technically a curse, but I'm still saying you are immune to it.
I
Yeah,
rolled a
no,
17,
it's still
by the
a
way.
curse disease.
Yeah.
So it does count. So I roll Constitution for what? Just not dying.
Well, you wouldn't need to roll Constitution. You just add 0. And as the blinding flash fades, there is Tommy, large gash across his whole torso. There's bits of metal flung a bit from him. The lights in his eyes gone out, and the
You
big
can see
werewolf.
my tiny.
Sorry, you go.
You can see at the center where my chest gets exposed, a tiny holy symbol is implanted in his chest, at his heart, in
And
the shape of a star.
despite being pretty injured, still standing over him, the werebore. Hands covering his eyes, his hair, the fur on his body is singed a little bit. Gave me a bit more trouble than he's worth. He'll then look over at you, Arkron and Lima.
I did my part. Now's yours.
I look over to the guards. Do any of you know any enchantment spells?
Leo's actually gonna quickly lean over to you, Archon, real quick. Pin him in the way. Sorry. Sorry. But before you do anything else, I'm gonna quickly say this to Archon. Pin him, and I'll unleash as much magic as I can on him over and over and over again, as long as you keep him pinned until he's down. Okay?
He's gone non-aggressive at this point.
Oh,
would like
not
to say.
aggressive?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
he's non-aggressive?
He's basically in the position of like, I've shown you what I can do.
Lima's actually gonna quickly go over and try to bring Tommy over, and I'm gonna try to roll some Arcana actually to keep him stable.
Roll that
Stop
Arcana because the guard just tried and rolled a 9.
15!
Tommy, you're stabilized. Oh, frick. Actually, I forgot about another roll. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, Tommy.
Oh.
5.
5? Oh boy.
Oh.
Sorry, I've implemented a lot of rules and have not had the opportunity to use all of them.
It's okay. Worst case, if Tommy dies, I have a thing that I've prepared mentally in the back of my mind as a backup plan.
This won't kill him. This will not kill him.
This will make his life hard, though.
Yeah. It's a grievously wound thing, isn't it? Especially from the quiet, I believe it is.
Let's roll that d20. A 3. Ooh.
Pretty bad.
We'll see. I'll send it to you, but right now, since you're unconscious, I will not go into it with the rest of the party.
I did good, Mom.
Come on, buddy. Come on.
I did
If you're
good,
gonna
Mom.
want to put me down, you've got to come at me with a lot more than that. Come on, boys. Let's go. and he will.
Before he goes, I'd like to do something.
Hmm.
Can I use control flames to flashbang the guy as he moves away?
Oh, he's not moving. He's letting his guys go around him, and he's just kind of blocking off the tunnel for now.
Okay. I would still like to use control flames as like a set thing right here, as she's gonna make all the candles burn brighter and harsher.
All right.
Calm down, Lima. Calm down.
I
She's
did
gonna
good.
so like get up. Archon, let's wreck some shit, please. Looks over at Archon, like, because she still wants to do the thing now. Harder than before for the pinning. You know what I mean? Gods, can you please kind of make sure the guys are a little bit busy? Please don't die, okay? I'm not really that great at medicine. So, Presley,
All right. Yep.
you heard what I said?
Yeah, I heard what you said.
Good. Can I roll initiative?
Are you going to attack him?
Not yet. Because, okay, oh boy, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this.
There are no aggressive actions going on right now. He's just kind of blocking the tunnel and basking in his own glory.
I only have 12 HP. I should not do anything reckless here.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna
So as Lima says that, can I kind of like hit her, like just to like knock her out?
Oh.
I mean, I'm not gonna even bother fighting this. You just knock her out
All right.
and take your punches aside for a quick sec. Yeah, way out the way.
Well, having the information that I have now, it seems that we were.
This won't be the case for much longer.
Oh yeah, as a heads up, I do have to start getting going for work.
Yeah, I was gonna end the session as soon as the scene was over. You're free to come back anytime.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Sorry, my headset died.
Oh no.
What I was saying is that it seems we're a bit out. I was saying, with the information I have now, it seems we're a bit outmatched. It won't be the case for much longer.
We'll see about that. Now I know
What's up?
I don't have to
Indeed,
keep
we
sending.
will.
Now I know I don't have to keep sending people to kill you. You'll come to me yourself.
Why are you so? Why are you so enamored by me, anyways? I just killed two low class goons.
If we let you go, what type of message would that send? Eye for an eye. He will stand there about a head taller than you. And just, you feel the hot breath on your face from that large snout.
Have you heard of hygiene?
You'll get your time soon enough. Why rush?
I mean,
Give yourself one last evening. Drink
I
yourself
mean-
drunk, whatever.
everybody fights the champion some days. As I will pick up Lima try to drag Tommy and just be like, "Guards, let's go."
The guards will help you with carrying Tommy out. And at that, I think it is a good point to end the session.
Yeah, I got to do my plan, and I can't believe it perfectly worked.
It worked! Do you want to know...
Oh no, I'm hoping to get at least as much damage in, so Archon, if you wanted to do anything, could do stuff.
He rolled a full-on max critical.
Yeah, I was intending to not really be the one to finish the fight. At work, I was more hoping to be the one who at least dealt enough damage to just severely weaken him.
Here's the thing. I would have done nothing against him.
Yeah, this was the plan the whole time, but then there was a point where I remembered, well, not this. He would have gone against Archon one-on-one and basically had a similar moment. But, like, the entire plan the whole time with this gang was, there's a werebore who's the boss. But I realized a bit late that, oh, just immune to physical damage?
That's not Silver.
Yeah, and so I had went to Presley and been like, hey, is this fine if I just because I was just planning on having a Therianthrope in the campaign, and so is it fine if he kicks your ass just to demonstrate it?
Yeah. I wasn't expecting Tommy to fight it.
Tommy needed to prove self.
But yeah,
And
thank you guys for participating. I hope I did a good session. Sorry there's been miscommunication about long rests the whole campaign.
Don't
Yeah, it's
worry.
okay. Sometimes there's certain things that need to be addressed. Sometimes we forget them.
That's why I've kept commenting, like, there's been no long rest, because you guys have just kept going. So
Yeah, and then there's usually at some point where if there hasn't been a long rest in a while, I as a DM would just kind of force one, because then it's like, oh, you keep going, you're gonna start suffering levels of exhaustion.
well, in fairness as well, this has all been the same day, is why I haven't forced a long rest.
It doesn't feel like the same day. Jesus, that's
I know.
one long day.
It's like multiple time. It's been so impactful. Like the 3 days of tournament outside of basically Majora's Mask. You have to do all this shit before you can get that long rest.
My apologies for the miscommunication.
No worries, no
But
worries.
I hope you guys are still having fun despite it.
Oh yeah, no, that was a fucking awesome moment. It's like, okay, I only have one spell slot left. I need to make it count. Honestly, I need to be able to get any damage in.
So I'm gonna kind of like say what my plan was, like how I originally planned it and how I adapted it. Was that I originally was gonna plan it like, okay, they're gonna take a long rest soon, and then the next day the gang leader shows up and beats Archon up, and this is where miscommunication happens, or you guys aren't like you guys just aren't going to take a long rest, and I'm like, shoot, and then you find the base, and I'm like, shoot, okay, they'd at least have someone set up guarding it, and then like I could just have that someone yell, and then the boss can show up and kick Archon's ass.
Then Tommy offered to be sacrificial lamb.
Oh, that actually worked out perfectly. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it didn't matter whose ass got kicked, as long as it was a punching match to show, yeah, this guy's immune to physical damage.
Yeah. Lima would be more fucked because she's, she can use her magic. It's just still very risky for her to do so still,
I actually want to see how much he would have gotten off if he had gotten the charge off, because that's why he backed up.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting on.
Oh, he almost would have rolled just so much damage, because that would have been an extra 12 on the crit from the 2d6 charge, and then an extra 9 from rolled. Oh.
Yeah, that was what I was waiting for. I knew you were planning that.
And Andrew knows what happened to Tommy. That'll be for the rest of you to find out once he's conscious.
What are you talking about? I haven't gotten any info yet.
I DM'd it to you.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't. I guess I was in my car when it happened, so I didn't get to see it yet.
That's fine. Anyway, that will be where I call the stream as well. We've had no new followers, so I don't have to call that out. Thank you, viewers, and I'll see you next time.